Before moving to Japan, we never imagined a convenience store would become one of our favorite places to eat. These are the 5 foods we keep coming back for. Welcome to Unretired in Japan, where we're documenting what life after early retirement really looks like. Let's go! If you're from the United States, you probably think that you already know what a 7-Eleven is. It's a place to grab a drink, maybe a bag of chips, some candy, or a quick snack before heading home. For most people, it's not somewhere you plan to eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's exactly what we expected before moving to Japan. Then we got here. One of the biggest surprises we've had since moving to Osaka is discovering that 7-Eleven has become part of our weekly routine, sometimes our daily routine. We stop in for breakfast, pick up lunch after running errands, grab dessert after dinner, and sometimes even buy an entire meal when we don't feel like cooking. It isn't just convenient, it's genuinely good food. Of course, 7-Eleven isn't the only convenience store in Japan. The country has 3 major chains: 7-Eleven, Lawson, and Family Mart. They're known collectively as konbini, short for convenience store, and they're woven into everyday life. You can pay bills, ship packages, withdraw cash, buy concert tickets, print documents, and of course, pick up everything to eat. Almost every neighborhood has one within a short walk. So why is the food so much better than many people expect? Part of the answer is history. Japan's first 7-Eleven opened in Tokyo in 1974, but instead of simply copying the American model, the company built something different. Rather than focusing on shelves full of packaged snacks, it invested heavily in fresh prepared foods and a distribution system that delivers those foods to stores multiple times a day. That means sandwiches, rice balls, salad, and ready-made meals are constantly being restocked instead of sitting on a shelf for days. The other reason is culture. In Japan, convenience stores aren't viewed as the last resort. They're expected to provide food that's fresh, reliable, affordable, and good enough that people choose to eat there even when they have other options. So after dozens of visits and more yen than we'd like to admit spent on snacks and meals, these are the 5 foods we keep coming back for. Let's start with the food that's probably the biggest surprise on this list, the egg salad sandwich. If you're watching from the United States, you're probably thinking, an egg salad sandwich? Really? We had exactly the same reaction. Egg salad sandwiches in the US aren't usually something people rave about. But Japan's version is completely different. First, there's the bread. It's the softest sandwich bread we've ever eaten. It almost melts in your mouth, and somehow it's incredibly light without falling apart. Then there's the filling. The eggs are chopped just enough to give the sandwich texture, and they're mixed with Japanese mayonnaise. Unlike many American mayonnaises that can taste sharp or vinegary, Japanese mayonnaise is richer, creamier, and has a subtle sweetness and extra umami that makes the filling taste incredibly smooth. The sandwich is simple, but that's exactly why it works. Every ingredient has to be right, and somehow 7-Eleven gets it right every time. The best part? It only costs about 320 yen, which is roughly $2. For $2, you're getting a sandwich that we'd happily buy from a cafe. Our next favorite is something that barely exists in the United States: curry bread. Imagine taking Japanese curry, which is thicker, slightly sweeter, and much milder than Indian curry, placing it inside a soft bread roll, then coating the outside with crispy breadcrumbs. The result is crunchy on the outside, warm and fluffy on the inside, with a rich, savory curry filling. If you're picturing something incredibly spicy, don't. Japanese curry is more like comfort food than spicy food. It's hearty, flavorful, and satisfying without overwhelming your taste buds. This has become one of our favorite quick lunches because it feels far much more substantial than you'd expect from something you bought in a convenience store. Most cost around 180 to 220 yen, or about $1.15 to $1.40. Honestly, Finding something this filling for barely more than $1 still amazes us. If there's one food that defines Japanese convenience stores, it's onigiri. Onigiri is a triangle-shaped rice ball wrapped in toasted seaweed with filling hidden inside. Ours is grilled salmon. Now, if you're American, eating cold rice as a handheld snack might sound a little strange at first. It certainly did to us. But after your first bite, it makes perfect sense. The rice is soft, slightly sticky, and perfectly seasoned. The salmon has a smoky, savory flavor without being overpowering. And one of the coolest parts is the packaging. It's designed so the seaweed stays completely crisp until the moment you open it, so you get a contrast between crunchy seaweed and soft rice. It's simple, portable, surprisingly filling, and doesn't leave you feeling heavy afterward. A salmon onigiri usually costs around 200 yen, or roughly $1.25. Once we started buying them, we understood why millions of Japanese people grab one on their way to work every morning. The jumbo Monaka doesn't look flashy. It's a rectangle of vanilla ice cream inside a thin wafer shell. This is probably our favorite impulse purchase. Once you buy into it, you understand. The wafer is crisp and light, the vanilla ice cream is rich without being overly sweet, and hidden in the middle is a thin layer of chocolate that snaps as you bite through it. That combination of crunchy wafer, creamy ice cream, and chocolate gives every bite a different texture. One thing we've noticed about many desserts in Japan is that they're less sugary than what we're used to in America. You can taste the vanilla in the chocolate instead of just sweetness, and that balance is part of what makes it so satisfying. It usually costs around 180 to 200 yen, or about $1.15 to $1.25. On a hot Osaka afternoon, it's become one of our favorite treats. Our number one favorite is something most Americans have probably never tried. It's called Purin. The easiest way to describe it is a Japanese custard pudding with a layer of caramel on the bottom. But that description doesn't really prepare you for the texture. It's incredibly smooth and silky, almost like the softest creme caramel you've ever had. The custard is rich with eggs and milk, while the caramel adds just a hint of bitterness that keeps the dessert from becoming overly sweet. A cup of Purin usually costs between 180 and 250 yen, which works out to be about $1.15 to $1.55. If someone asked us to recommend just one dessert to try from a Japanese convenience store, this would be it. It's simple, inexpensive, and perfectly captures why we've been so impressed with the quality of food at Japan's 7-Eleven. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you'd like to see what life after early retirement in Japan is really like, we're documenting that, sharing both the costs and the experiences of building a new life here in Japan. Until then, we'll be enjoying another curry bread while unretired in Japan.
Oh, it's gonna